Hey, what's up, guys? All right, so I wanted to do this video because someone was asking me the other day, how are we targeting a 15% internal rate of return on our fund? So again, if you don't know me, my name is Victor Bell. I've been doing real estate for 20 plus years. We have Bell Capital. That's our firm, that's our company. And we right now have an open real estate fund for accredited investors only. It's a $50 million fund. We're going to be finishing out the next 6 months by putting together about $40 million. And if you're interested in investing with us or getting information, I would love to talk to you guys, myself or someone on my team. And but today I wanted to talk to you because I talked to someone the other day and they were like, "Well, I want to get to the place where we're bringing in about $500,000 in passive income or cash flow a year." All right, and I was telling them, I was like, "Look, if you need $500,000 of cash flow a year." Hold on, I'm going to pull this up so that way you guys will see it. So if you needed $500,000 worth of cash flow a year, you're going to have to put it in a place that's bringing in roughly about 5%. You're going to need $10 million. Can you guys see that? You're going to need about $10 million in an investment that's giving you 5% a year for however long that's going to be, right? So, and then I'm like, do you even have $10 million? No. Okay, good. So worst case scenario, think about it like this though, man. So let's say, for example, we were to hit our returns as a back-facing thing where you're going to look at it. You'd really only need about $3 million in play, right? And he was like, oh, wow. How'd you come up with that? And I want to share with you guys how I came up with that because that's more realistic. That's a better target to hit. And I'm like, do you have $3 million? No, but I'm closer to $3 million than I would be $10 million. So a lot of times when you're thinking about your returns, I want you to get clear on how you're calculating your returns because there's a bunch of different ways to carve this up. But there's one way where you can actually hit your target and you can actually be passive, or there's another way where you can have fear in your investments because now you got to go off and you got to put in $10 million, whether that's collectively over time, whether it takes you 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 20 years to do that. And do you have that time, especially as an entrepreneur or you run a business like most people do, right? Most people we talk to. So let me show you that. So for us, we're looking at targeting. This is a target. We're looking at internal rate of return of about 15% on our fund, right? So here's how that works. So let's say you were to invest $300K, right? 300,000. You could expect our target roughly is about 5%. So you can expect roughly about 15 grand, right? A year. If we held that deal for 7 years, which is how the fund is structured, it's a 7-year thing. Now, if I can do it sooner, great, but let's just do 7 years, right? So that's 7 times 15. I want to say that's 102. 15K times 7. 105, my bad. 15K, there you go. That's 105K. That's what you will have made on your 300K in 7 years. And then let's say, for example, we exited. I'm giving you your 300K back. Plus you made another 3, right? Plus another 300K. So now that's a 200% return. That's a 200% return on your money because you got your 100K back plus another 100. That's 200. Plus, we held this for how long? 7 years. So another 35%. So that's the 235% return on your money. That's huge. That's a huge upside in what it is that we're doing. Right? So if you were to take that though and you go, okay, cool. You're going to take 235 divided by 7 years, which was the timeline. That's a 33%. It's like 30, a little bit more. 33% internal rate of return. Now, I said we were going to do 15%, but this is going to be average. This is the target. Now, I have to put something on our placements, right? This is how we're looking at all deals. Can we hit a 15% return? But this is really where my track record kind of shines. I'm usually closer to about a 33% return. That's saying, hey, we're going to you're going to invest. I'm going to give you your money back. That's 100%. another double, because we're looking to sell at a double. And if we're hitting our target, which is 5% per year, and we hold for 7 years, that's 35%. That's where we come up with this number. So if you're looking at a back-facing thing, you're gonna make the cash flow, including the return of capital and appreciation based on the returns. But that's how we're getting it simply. So we're always looking at like, hey, can we hit 15% returns for our investors? Great. What does that even look like? Like we said, if you were to invest $300K, 5% a year, that's $15,000 per year times 7 years. It's putting you at 105. So you're getting a massive return by investing. Like, I know this is all magic, but I need you guys to see this because this is important. Because this is how, like my buddy was talking about, he wanted to make 500K on his money as it relates to cash flow. And I'm like, look, dude, you know what? If you needed that, all you'd really need is 3.3 million at play. If we had a back-facing 15, just if I hit my targets, right? And that's a total cash flow and return on your capital and equity or appreciation. So that's how I want you guys to look at this. So if you look at your investment, plus you're going to get your investment back, plus double that, plus however long it takes while we're in that deal. And if we're targeting 5% a year, that's my target for every deal. I'm like, can we get to 5% a year? What does that look like? And then we know we're going to roll all that up. And at the end, your total return is going to be 15% internal rate of return or higher over that timeline. That's how you get this stuff. Look, I know this might be confusing, man. Don't let me confuse you. That's why I tell everyone, look, when you're doing this stuff, you got to know. You got to know a little bit about what you're doing, but you got to have somebody who can look at this stuff and simplify it for you. All right? So very important to do, but that's how you can take a look at, hey, how much cash flow do I really want? How much money do I need to have invested? And do I need to have it invested in something that's going to give me 5% return? Or can I take a look at something that's going to give me a better return rolled all the way up? So I don't need as much money invested. I can put this amount of money in and I can ride it out. And then over the course of my investment period, then I can look and say, yeah, you know what? That actually hit all of my target returns. And I think that's going to be more valuable for a lot of people. All right. So look, I know this is confusing. I'm not trying to confuse you. If you have questions about this, go to bell-capital.com and hit schedule a call. Those calls take 5 minutes, but I can go over this specifically with you or someone on my team can, and we can run through this based on your personal situation. How liquid are you? How quickly do you want to get invested? How long can you stay in investment? And are you accredited? First, you got to be accredited. You can't even play if you're not accredited yet. Not a big deal. Just means that you got to make $200,000 or you got to have $1 million net worth, not including your house. Your house doesn't count. But I want to help you guys with this. Keep coming and keep watching my videos until this starts to make sense for you. If this doesn't make sense yet, right? First, you got to stop thinking small. You got to start thinking big. We're not talking about you running off and doing your own stuff. That's active. This is passive investments. The person who talked to me about wanting to invest and wanting to get to about $500,000 in cash flow, he's looking at investing capital or money that he has sitting dying in a bank that he's not able to multiply his money faster. So for him, it makes more sense. Hey, just invest that money with me and then go ahead and get the returns. And you keep your eyes on the thing that's your main thing right now. That is the business that he runs. So if you have that, make sure to reach out to me. Like this video, share this video, comment on this video. If you have questions, make sure you reach out to me. You can put your comments in. You can put your questions in the comments. I'll make sure to get back to them. But make sure you reach out to me. I think this is very, very, very important. You know why? Because cash flow is the thing you need to be looking at right now. Especially in a market like this, you need to be looking at your income. You need to be looking at cash flow. You need to be looking at your investments. Get your money out of the banks, put them in real assets, because that is the only thing you can count on. You don't have to worry about your money if you've converted your money into real estate. Then you can just focus on your real estate, not the money. All right, so let's talk soon. Let me know if you guys need anything. Let's keep this thing going.